If you've ever scrolled through Hindi moral stories on YouTube, you might get that weird feeling of deja vu, where the magic, the struggle, and the final lesson all feel a little familiar. Well, you're not wrong, because there is a secret formula at work, and today we're going to break it down. Have you ever been midway through one of these videos and thought, hang on, a poor old woman, a magical gift, a gritty neighbor? I think I know exactly how this ends. Well, you're not imagining things. There's a powerful and really consistent blueprint behind almost all of them. You see, these stories about magic spoons, stoves that create endless food, and gods stepping in to help out, they're not just random fairy tales. They're actually built on a very specific, repeatable structure. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and decode that blueprint step by step. Okay, so where does it all begin? Well, pretty much every single one of these stories kicks off with the exact same core ingredient, a genuinely good person who is in a whole lot of trouble. Let's call them the virtuous underdog. So let's meet our heroes, shall we? You've got Narmada, an old woman left behind by her son, totally broke but still pouring all her love into her grandson. Then there's Karuna, a widow also abandoned by her kids, but she stays kind, she prays, and she even gives to charity with what little she has. And Ajay, an orphan just trying to get by, whose biggest dream is to work hard and help other people. You see the pattern here, right? Their defining feature is their goodness, especially when life is at its worst. All right, so once our hero hits rock bottom, the story needs something to kickstart a change. And that brings us to step 2 of the formula, some kind of magical help, something that comes from beyond the normal world. In the universe of these stories, being a good person never goes unnoticed. The hero's kindness and resilience basically act like a signal flare, attracting a supernatural reward. And this isn't just luck, it's a direct result of their character. And this reward tends to show up in one of 2 ways. First up, we've got the magical object. This is a real, physical thing that solves our hero's main problem. For Narmada's grandson, it's a diamond spoon from a god that makes boring food taste like a royal feast. For Ajay, it's a simple stove that can magically fill any pot with endless food. The object is literally their tool for survival. Now, the second type of help is even more direct, the divine helper. In Karuna's story, she prays to the god Ganesha, and what happens? 2 mysterious little boys just show up. They're actually divine messengers, or doots, sent to make her food so delicious that her business is saved. So here, the magic isn't in a thing, it's in the beings themselves. But here's where it gets really interesting. It's not just the good guys who get supernatural powers. The formula has this awesome little twist where the villains can get a power-up too, but it comes from a much, much darker place. And this contrast just perfectly explains the moral compass of these tales. The virtuous spoon, like the helpers sent to Karuna, is a reward for being good. It's meant to help. But the dark boon? That's a pact. It's a deal made for power. Like Kalu the wolf, who wants to be king, so he makes a deal with a demon for incredible strength. His power isn't a gift. It's a transaction designed to crush others. So our hero has this new magical fortune, whether it's fantastic food or just plain wealth. But that good fortune always brings a new challenge. And that leads us right to the heart of the story, the test of greed. Right, so this is the key. The magical gift isn't the happy ending. Nope, it's actually what kicks off the real drama. It basically acts like a magnet for the bad guy, someone who sees the hero's good luck not as a blessing, but as something they need to steal. And these villains, you'll recognize them right away. You've got the classic jealous neighbor Nirmala, who just can't stand seeing Narmada do well, or the greedy friend, Jay, who wants to swipe Ajay's magic stove. And maybe the worst of all, the ungrateful son, Sudhir, who shows up just to rob his own mother. And then, of course, there's the power-hungry villain, Kalu the wolf, who wants nothing more than control. Their motivation is often just shockingly simple. I mean, listen to this line from Sudhir, Karuna's son, as he's plotting to steal from her. There's no deep, complicated backstory here. It is just raw, unfiltered greed. The story draws a very clear line in the sand. And for villains like Kalu, it's all about pure ambition. He makes a deal with a demon, literally promising to sacrifice an animal every single day just for the power to become king. This isn't just about getting rich. It's about that hunger for control and being totally okay with hurting others to get it. And this all leads us to the final and most satisfying piece of the puzzle. The villain has made their move, the test is underway, and now the story has to deliver its final message.
This is the big payoff, the fruits of one's actions, or karma. There are no gray areas in these endings, not at all. The world of these stories has a very strict, very fair justice system. The good guy always ends up safe and happy, and the bad guy, oh, they always get punished. But it's never random. The punishment is always a kind of poetic justice that directly mirrors their crime.
I mean, just look at this. It's beautiful. Nirmala steals the magic spoon to enjoy its food, and that very same food burns her. Jay steals the stove to get rich, but it's the wrong one and it explodes, leaving him with nothing. Sudhir steals his mom's life savings and poof, the divine beings turn it into ash. And Kalu, who got his power from a demon, that power is ripped away from him and he's defeated. The punishment always, always fits the crime.
So the main takeaway is crystal clear, and it's incredibly powerful. It's the basic idea of karma told in a story that's easy to understand. Whatever you put out into the world, kindness or greed, it will eventually make its way back to you. So there it is, the secret 4-step formula. Step 1, start with a good person who's having a tough time. Step 2, give them a magical gift as a reward. Step 3, test them with a greedy villain. And step 4, deliver some satisfying cosmic justice where everyone gets exactly what they deserve.
Now that you know the blueprint, you're going to see it everywhere. The next time one of these stories pops up in your feed, you'll spot the virtuous hero, you'll see the magical intervention coming a mile away, you'll know who the greedy villain is right off the bat, and you'll know exactly how it's all going to end. You are now officially in on the secret. And that leaves us with one last really fascinating question to chew on. In our modern world, which is so complex and often confusing, why are these simple, predictable stories so incredibly popular? Why do we find so much comfort in a world where good is always rewarded and evil is always punished, plain and simple? What does that tell us about what we're all looking for online?